Hello, welcome back. So, day 3 of the 100-day project. Here is my tea bag. This one is obviously got tea stain into it, unlike the one we had yesterday and actually the day before. So, I would like to put this flower onto my tea bag today, but I think I would also like to have a piece of this broderie anglaise. Now I want to see that there's a tea bag underneath, so we can see it through the holes, we can see it on the edge, and then maybe we could have this flower, something like that. But how boring. So I'm going to make a flower with you, I think. And we need to trim off this bit of fabric. So I'm going to put a snip there. Because it's cotton, it'll tear nice and easily. And we're going to have all these lovely strings. So also, that's the open side. So if we cleverly put that there, no, I was going to say we could put something in the pocket, but obviously I'm going to stitch through it. Duh! So that's not going to work, is it? Right, so now we want to put a snip there. I'm going to tear that off. And that, look, oh, look what that's done. That's opened up all of that. Love that. So I think I'm going to go the other way now. And I'm going to put it over there so we can really see the tea bag. Like that. And then our flower will sit sort of like that. Okay, so that's the plan. Now, making those flowers are really simple. This is a piece of net curtain, as you can see. I'm going to put a cut there. So it's about 1 inch. Okay, I'm just going to snip all the way down. Because we do want a nice long bit. Doesn't matter if I'm not straight. I've never seen a perfect flower, have you? Right, so we've got our strip. We've got a needle and thread. So let's, whoops, I'm all fingers and thumbs. Let's pull off some thread, like so. Give it a snip. Thread our needle, which is often easier said than done, isn't it? But let's have a little go, see where we're at. Oh, would you look at that? First time. Let's go and buy a lottery ticket, I think. Right. Pull that through. Let's give ourselves a knot. Oh, that's not a knot, Claire. That is a knot. Okay, so all I'm going to do is fold this in half, putting the right side on the outside, so wrong sides together. I'm going to put my needle through both and then just holding it, I'm going to do a running stitch, a big uncaring running stitch all the way through. So just up and down, up and down, up and down and pull. Okay, at the end we're going to gather it right round and stitch it into place, but for now we want it relatively flat. So I'm being very uncaring, very random. I'm not making sure that my stitches are equal distance from the edge of the lace. I'm just going through to make sure that the front is stitched to the back. Okay, so you may have some areas that are thinner than others. That all helps for building our petals, doesn't matter. Just run it through. Does help if you've got a fairly long needle. This one's quite short. If you've got a long needle, you can do a lot more stitches in one as you go. Pulling that through. We've got a weird thing happening there. What's happening there? I've wrapped the thread around. There you go. Pull that through. That's better. Right. And just keep going all the way along until we get to the end. If there's any men watching, oh, actually that's cheeky. Any gardeners watching, it's a bit like mowing the lawn or pulling the weeds up. You just keep going till you get to the end. I say men because in this house it's the man that does the gardening. I don't do gardening. I can kill flowers and cultivate weeds. I'm absolutely rubbish, so that's why it's a blue job. So apologies, no insult or upset intended. It's just speaking as I live, basically. In this house it's a blue job, so it automatically speaks as a man, if that makes sense. I do apologise. I had no intention of upsetting anyone. Right, stop getting yourself in a twist, Claire, and just stitch your line. There you go. When you get to the end, like so, whoops, just pull your gathering. Okay, you don't want it too tight, but you do want it gathered a little bit. Can you see? So what I'm going to do is stretch it out, and I'm just going to start in the middle and just start to wrap it around like so, and stretch it out and then pull it back in, and just keep wrapping it round until you get a shape you're happy with. Okay. Once you get that circular type flower shape that you feel you're happy with, you see, like so, take your needle and just come up through the layers, okay, and then go back down, come across your flower to the other side and come back up. And what we're doing now is we're just securing it all where we want it. Okay, you can see we've got this bit needs to come in, so I find my cotton and I'm just literally stitching it in place. Okay, this bit needs another little touch there. So then, now obviously I'm doing this on camera, which does tend to alter things slightly to when you're doing it on your own, but the principle is the same. This one is much smaller, but it's still, you know, a gathered net flower. Okay, so now what I did was I put a leaf on the back, so I need to find that lace. Just 1 second. So here is that lace. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut out a leaf. There's one. So trimming out the leaf, not your fingers, Claire. Trim that back down. and then cut that there. Now obviously I don't want all that extra thickness at the bottom, so I'm just going to trim that off. Okay, but here is my leaf. So work out which side my thread is. Where would it's here at the front, so I'm going to make this the front, that the back, and I want my leaf about there. So I'm just going to stitch that now in place. There we go. Run that through there. And if you pull on your thread, you'll get this more sort of curled up dimensional flower. Okay, once you're happy, that's where you want it to be. I'm going to come back through the middle and I'm going to do this middle section here. So what I did for that was just, this is a slightly different piece of lace, and I just literally snipped off the tiniest of pieces like that. Okay, run my needle up and down a couple of times to make sure that was in place, and then what I'm going to do is put a few beads on. Now on this one I use pearls. This one I've got this tray of seed beads, and I'm just going to pick up 1, 2, 3 of these, because notice, oh, see, I was going to pick up 3 of these, and then I realised that the hole is not actually big enough. Now, are all these holes the same size? Have I got to go off and find a different, yes, different bead? Hang on a second. Okay, I can't find the bag of pearls, so I'm in the button box. That's the next best thing. I'm going to find a nice little button just to sit in the middle there. If I had a smaller needle, or I could find the pearls, then obviously I would go ahead and put these 3 different little beads on, but our button will work just as well. So just a few stitches to hold our button in place, making sure that we don't cover up our little bit of extra lace, because that's all different bit of life. There we go, and there's our strange looking flower, but I love it, it's sort of cute. So now all I'm going to do is go straight through that piece of cotton and the tea bag, okay, and then go back up. Obviously you know how to sew a button on, don't you? Don't need me to tell you how to sew a button on. And just like that, we have got, now I'm going to go through the tea bag into the actual bit of fabric, because obviously the tea bag's only paper, and I'm just going to put a knot there to hold all those stitches together. Close that off like so. Trim my thread. Now that's all joint, it's not, you know, going to go anywhere. I love this scraggly bit of lace on here. I think that is potentially too big. So I'm just going to tear that piece off and rough up that edge. And that is day 3 of the 100-day project of our, well, I'm going to call it lapel. Go nice on your lapel. Of our lapel tea bag. As always, thanks for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. See you again soon. Bye for now.